Hello. Um, Today I'm gonna talk about something I heard about lately. This is about a film I haven't seen, Fantastic Beasts, and basically the essentially the prequel to Harry Potter, um, in a way. I know it's not exactly the same, but basically it's in that world. I have seen Harry Potter, but I have not seen this film. Um, but apparently, one of the actors in it, as well as who will be in the sequel, um, Johnny Depp has been accused or has been talked about again for the allegations of domestic violence he had. Make sure I get her name. Amber Heard. Yes. So last year, they there were these allegations that he was violent to her. He beat her up, um, and that he um, and that basically he was also, I believe he was also verbally abusive to her. Yeah, he was verbally and physically abusive, and yeah, it was a big thing. And when I looked at it, it seemed a bit odd, and because Johnny Depp is a very quiet person. Um, uh, he doesn't come across as violent, but then again, I guess a lot of people wouldn't want to appear to be. But so his then wife said that he uh, beat her and would yell at her. And there were apparently statements from a friend of both of theirs, and I guess neighbor or something. Um, but I remember hearing something that, or I read it in something that said that they were out in public and he came up to her and was kind of like just yelling at her because his mother died. And that's important to remember. His mother had died, and apparently he was upset and angry that she was talking about his mom to other people, when that was really just a private matter. You don't need to be telling friends about the death of his mom. Long story short, I think she kind of wanted money. And I know that might sound a bit, might be rude to accuse her of doing that. But the thing is, when the timeline of when she filed for divorce, like not long after, or not long before, his mother had died. And then all these accusations came out that he beat her, he yelled at her, and it seemed like that she was just trying to kind of take advantage of a situation where he was very vulnerable. This was all last year. I don't believe I made a video about this in the movie world. That was kind of a thing back then, but I don't know. I think it's because other people were talking about it. But now that it's resurfaced, it's kind of like because of all these sexual harassment stuff and rape charges, like kind of hold Johnny Depp responsible, even though it seemed like you were, and for many people, they're just taking Amber Heard's side without trying to look at the timeline and look at everything from what could have like taken place, but they didn't. The media kind of didn't want to do that because it seems like anymore you are guilty in the eyes of the public, regardless if there's any evidence or any claims that don't hold up or can be refuted, or when you look at the timelines before all these allegations came out, you see this, and then he was in a low place, so good time to take advantage if you really wanted to, somebody in that situation, which is what it seems like for me when I looked at this. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be very good, and the fact that they're bringing this up again is like, oh, come on. You kind of spent months, like this whole summer of last year, kind of railing him about this, and it's like, let's not take a step back and try to look at the big picture of what the whole thing is. We've already heard her side, but we didn't hear anything from Johnny Depp's side. Really, I mean, there's a representative of him, but that's probably because he was dealing with personal loss. He lost his mother, so he's not really gonna be necessarily up to talking during something like that, especially when it comes after the death of his mother. But yeah, that's just my thought. It's already happened like last year. Must we keep conjuring up the past? And also, their allegations. I know she apparently they say that she had like some bruises or something. Public, but she's an actress too. They started in the film Rum Diary, and who knows? Maybe she could have had a friend who does makeup, put some stuff to make it look like she had some bruising. That could be. But yeah, it just seems like the whole thing of everything lining up, it's just very fishy to me. And people don't kind of want to look at anything that happened prior to these allegations, like what happened. Like, why is this coming out now? It's like a big shock. Like, Johnny Depp's one of the nicest people. But some might have thought he kind of turned to drinking because some appearances later on, like this year, let's say, there's that whole thing where it kind of suggests maybe Johnny Depp should be, or Donald Trump should be shot or something, like an assassination. Having seen that video, he seemed really drunk, and he was very chatty, and some people take a note that he's a very quiet person, so he's kind of shy in interviews. But when he seems to be drunk, which he appeared to be in that video that was recorded and shown on news outlets, he seemed to be he kind of seemed like that. He was kind of, drunk. He probably could have been, before he came out on stage, probably heard some stuff. And then, obviously I'm not condoning at all what he said. That's just terrible. And he apologized the following day for what was said. And he really, some have speculated, perhaps because of the allegations that he was accused of the previous year, as well as his mother dying, all that, it might have accumulated him to kind of turn to drinking a bit. Not saying for sure. Perhaps that event where he said that about Trump, he could have just gotten really loaded because he's coming out in front of a whole bunch of people. That probably makes him nervous. Not saying he would get drunk a whole lot before things like that, most or all the time, but maybe with the year he had, maybe might have been a huge, I don't want to say like a Comic-Con convention or something, but it was something similar to that. It wasn't like an award show or whatever, but because he accepted an award not long after the allegations were told against him, like the People's Choice Award earlier this year. And then months later this happened, but maybe he did drink a bit to kind of cope with the loss of his mother and the allegations. Maybe he didn't, I don't know. Just looking at the whole thing, and then again recently that this has come out, and looking at it again, it just that could be. Again, speculation. I don't know the guy. I'm not in his inner circle. I can't really talk to him. That's just what somebody on the outside would try not to just accuse him of something, like a lot of people did. I try to, it's kind of like Casey Affleck, accused of doing something, but then you look at everything, it's like, other people, someone else was in charge as well, Joaquin Phoenix. And before, with the Joaquin Phoenix and Casey Affleck film that they did with this sexual harassment stuff about Casey was accused of doing. Before I said it, Casey was a co-director with Joaquin. Well, Joaquin actually was like the writer and producer and star with Casey. But I guess there's like a good amount of creative input from both parties. It seems like, either way, go up to Joaquin Phoenix. I'm sure if this stuff was true, happening and true, sure he's in character, but I'm sure he's able to at least either break character or deal with the situation at hand if it's true, but they didn't do that. They didn't try, I guess, go to anyone else that would have been an important person that could have told Casey to stop it. And this whole thing with Johnny Depp, friends of hers, and all this, it's like, did people just make stuff up just to kind of get some attention, maybe some money? Good possibility. I know it's wrong to just assume stuff like that, but I try to look at the big picture. And again, stuff like this, I could be wrong. Obviously, I could be wrong. Johnny Depp could have possibly have done this. But just from everything I've looked, and it's just with what's happened in his personal life before all this came to light, it just seems a bit suspicious to me. Kind of like kicking someone while they're down. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. It's kind of, it's just ridiculous. Just as this Hollywood sexual harassment, rape stuff's going on now. Now it just seems like people might be just saying big names just because, like Jeffrey Tambor, Sylvester Stallone. I'm not sure what the whole deal is with that. I've just heard this stuff as of late, and I don't know. I haven't looked at it enough to really feel make a good cohesive video and even like a little perspective from my point of view, as I have with Johnny Depp. Then again, this happened like a year ago. So that's all I've got. Thank you all for watching, and yeah, I'll see you next time.